Once upon a time, a young man named Charles worked in a factory. His mentor, Henry, was an old technician who taught him an important lesson. Talk less, work hard, and always improve your skills. Charles followed his advice, learning everything about the factory and doing his best every day. After 10 years, Henry retired, and Charles became a technician. He worked with the same dedication, but he noticed something unfair. Many of his co-workers who had less experience were getting promoted while he remained in the same position with the same pay. This made him feel frustrated and unappreciated. One day, Charles visited Henry and shared his concerns. "I have worked hard and done everything you taught me, but others get promoted and I don't. What am I doing wrong?" he asked. Henry listened carefully and then asked, "Are you sure the factory cannot run without you?" Charles quickly answered, "Yes." After thinking for a moment, Henry gave him advice. "Take a day off," he said. "Find a reason, but take a break." Charles was surprised but decided to follow the advice. He requested a day off and stayed home. When Charles returned to work the next day, his manager called him into the office. The factory had many problems in his absence, and no one knew how to fix them. Realizing how important Charles was, the manager promoted him to senior technician to keep him happy and motivated. Charles was thrilled. He believed he had discovered the secret to success. Whenever he felt underappreciated, he would take a day off. Each time, the factory struggled without him, and when he returned, he was treated better. This trick worked for months. However, one day, Charles arrived at the factory and found that he had been fired. He was shocked and confused. Feeling lost, he went to see Henry. "Why did I lose my job?" he asked. "I did exactly what you told me." Henry shook his head. "You only listened to half the lesson. You understood that people don't notice a light bulb that is always on, but they miss it when it goes off. But there was a second part." Charles asked, "What was the second part?" Henry explained, "If a light bulb turns off too often, people will replace it. The same is true in life. Don't let yourself be taken for granted, but also don't stop working just because things aren't going your way. Find balance and life will reward you." Charles finally understood. Success comes from being both valuable and reliable.